G'day folks, Ben from Snows. Today I've got for you this WaterPORT Day Trip 4-gallon portable pressurized water supply. This is as it mentions, a portable water supply. You can fill this up and you can pressurize it, and then you've got this hose on the side that you can then use to shower, wash up, whatever you like with. Loaded with all sorts of features, and these are really tough. The main thing I want to point out is that this is doesn't feel like a jerry can. It's probably about 5mm thickness material. It's really strong. You fill it up here. You've got the hose that attaches on the side here. You pressurize it via a Schraeder valve on the side here, or you can pressurize it via a garden hose. It's got a pressure release valve on the other side, mounting points for accessories, mounting points to mount it on your vehicle on the tow hitch on the bull bar in the back of your vehicle, or you can just carry it around like this as well if you like. So really versatile. It's 4-gallon, which means 15 litres, water tank for all your camping and adventure purposes. Going to do a bit of an unboxing for you to show you what comes inside and all the features, so stick around and we'll show you that. Before we dive in, we've got loads more content like this on our channel, so make sure you like and subscribe below. Now let's jump into the product. So when you buy your WaterPORT Day Tank, this is what is included. So going through the things at the front here to start with, this is a 2.4 metre coiled hose with just standard garden fittings on the ends. It's a 5-pattern shower rose or garden hose head, I suppose. So you've got flat, all the standard sort of garden settings, flat, shower, jet. I think there's a mist setting as well. This is the cap that goes on top. You get 2 of these fittings. One of these, or this one here, is goes on the tank, and then this is for filling up via a garden hose. We'll show you a bit more on that shortly. And then the mounting bracket that goes on side, plus the attachment screws. This makes it compatible with a bunch of hitch mounts and all sorts of accessories you can buy from WaterPORT. Now this is the tank itself. This weighs 8.2 kilos heavy, measures 65 centimeters in length, about 28 centimeters in height and 19 centimeters in width. And it's made with a food grade roto-molded BPA-free polyethylene. And this is really, really tough. I cannot flex this. Probably feels between 5mm and a centimeter thick, this material here. It's not flexible, really strong, and it's made black. So if you do have it on the outside of your car, it's going to heat the water up inside to give you a warm shower. And it'll take pressure up to about 40 psi. And there are a few different ways to pressurize this, which we'll go through shortly. A bit of a tour around the tank. The top here, and you've got the cap. So we'll start to assemble this as we go. You get this cap here. This seals on the top here. So that's our fill port. We can screw that on the end here. If we jump to this end first, you can see we've got little mounting points. I've got like soap holders and mounting accessories that you can mount onto here as an optional extra. This is a pressure release valve, so it'll only take up to 40 psi, and this will allow the pressure to release if you're putting it, if it's in the sun and the pressure builds up inside. It's just going to make sure it stays nice and safe. On the back, you've got your mounting points. Now this is where this bracket will mount. You've got the 4 screws in here to go in these spots here. This mounts on here, and this is then compatible with their brackets that can slide in, so you can get a hitch mount, for example, that'll slide on here. You can use this to lock it on or secure it on as well. The holes line up when you put it all together. It makes more sense when you see the valves. We'll have future videos on that as well. On this end here, you've got your outlet port. So this is where the hose will attach. So you do have a little cover on here. Now I'll go into the hose a little bit more detail shortly. Firstly though, another mounting point for accessories on this end here, and you've got a Schraeder valve here. So to add pressure in here, you can do it through this valve with a bike pump or a 12-volt compressor. Up to 40 psi, the pressure will release if you go over 40 psi, but that's just a standard Schraeder or a bike valve on there to add pressure inside. And the pressure inside allows the water obviously to come out of the hose on the other side. And then around to the front, not much to see here, just the WaterPORT logo. So if we now assemble the hose, we've got standard garden hose here, clips in as you would expect into that end of the hose here, and you get 2 of these fittings. So these are brass fittings and just your standard plastic fittings on here. Now this is the one we want for the tank. This one is a pressure reducer. That's for filling it up. A bit more on that in a minute. So this just screws on to the brass fitting here. This is brass fitting onto the tank here. So little collar over the top there. Tighten this up finger tight. It does need to be nice and firm, both to be watertight and airtight so that we can create pressure inside the unit. So make sure that's nice and firmly done up. Don't over tighten it, just nice and firm so that the washers inside create a nice seal. And then you've got this tap on here, on off tap on here. The hose can then attach to that. Just clips on as a regular garden hose would, and we're now set up ready to go. Now we can fill this up. Process of pressurizing this is to open this, fill it up, and we've got a few options. Firstly, you can get an optional pump cap for this to buy as an extra. So you manually pump pressure into this. And the second option is to use the Schraeder valve here. A bike pump, standard bike pump will fit onto that, or a 12-volt compressor to pump pressure into this. As it pressurizes, the pressure release valve on the other end here will release to release the pressure. So if that's releasing, you know that it's reached the maximum pressure it can take. And the other option is to use the pressure reducer. This is the purpose for filling the tank. We don't attach this permanently to the tank. So there's 3 parts to this. They can kind of go in different orders. You can put them on this side, this side. This is the pressure reducer, and this is directional. So the water will flow this way through this pressure reducer. So if I wanted, I could attach that straight to my garden hose, have the tap in between, and then this on this end here. It doesn't really matter. The main thing is that the pressure is going, or the water flow is going that way through this portion here. So in this instance, I could attach this to my garden hose, screw it onto my garden hose if I like, take the nozzle off the hose for my WaterPORT tank, and then attach this on here. Then open up, so this will be attached to my garden hose. I'll attach this to the garden hose. I'll flick this right around so you can see everything that's got going on here. So this is my garden hose, turn my garden hose on, open up these valves here. I think actually in line like that is on. Same with this guy here, turn that on, and that will then start to use the pressure from the mains pressure of the hose to fill the tank here. And as it fills, the air inside will be compressing. You might find that this opens up as you go. This little valve here will open up to release the pressure. You can push that in if you like. It's going to allow air to escape as the water fills up and pressurizes. Once it's kind of full, you probably want to fill this to about 85% to allow about 15% of air pressure in here. Once it's full, you can turn the garden hose off, turn both of these taps off. If you only turn one off, the reason there's 2 taps, if you now release this and you don't have this tap here, all the pressure inside then releases straight away. So you need both taps in the system. You can then attach your nozzle to the tank again, and you've now got pressurized water inside here. Now obviously as you use this, the pressure is going to reduce, so you're going to need to put pressure back in the tank here. So where the optional pump cap on here is quite handy because you can pump it as you go, or just have your air compressor or bike pump nearby to keep pumping pressure into this. Standard shower is probably going to be 3 to 5 minutes. You probably get a reasonable shower out of this if you like, but you are going to have to keep putting pump water, air back into this to keep it pressurized. Now, I will point out that it is important that you do not, and they stress this in the user manual, which you do get with this, by the way. There is a little user manual here that comes with it. Don't attach this like this. That will void the warranty, I imagine, for a number of reasons. Firstly, because you've got a fair bit of leverage here that could affect how this is secured in here and create potentially a leak or something in there, although it does feel very tough. But the main reason being that if you attach that way, the water flow is going the wrong way. This is expecting it to go that way. This needs to flow this way into the tank. So don't attach this directly to your tank. Only use the valve here to attach it, and then attach the hose to this and use the other end of the hose to fill it with that if you like. But I reckon probably one of the better ways to do it is to maybe have a little bike valve or your air compressor nearby just to pump air into this very quickly. Use short spouts of water and just keep pumping it up. Now you can use other liquids inside this. Obviously you can use water, that's fine. If you want to use Gatorade or something, you can use that inside here. You can put hot water in here. They don't recommend you put boiling water inside because the steam inside is going to create extra pressure and sort of mess around with this pressure release valve releasing all the time. If that does, for whatever release, you just push that center thing back in, a little bit like a tire pressure valve does, like a Storm tire deflator. You just push that back in to stop the pressure from being released. And there are accessories and things, as I mentioned, that can go on the end. But that's the WaterPORT Day Trip 4 gallon or 15 litre. 4 gallon translates to 15 litre water tank. A really tough and portable 15 litre water option that gives you the pressure here without all the extra 12 volt additions. I mean, obviously you've got a compressor that you might need to add pressure in here. That's a 12 volt addition, but you don't need to plug this in to both water and 12 volt to make it work. You can pressurize it at your car, take it away from the car, use it to wash yourself or your bike or whatever down, bring it back and repressurize it later on. So really versatile option that you can also sort of permanently mount inside the back of a tray if you like. Really tough, UV resistant, roto-molded, food grade materials. Awesome addition to an outdoor camping setup if you need this the sort of water on hand, I suppose, without the complexity of setting up a 12-volt pump and water system. That's WaterPORT's Day Trip 4-gallon, 15-litre pressurized water system. Check them out online at snowies.com.au.